Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and this video is going to serve as a bit of a correction video to my last upload. Last night I uploaded a video that would let you know everything you need to know about helicopters here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I broke down how they fly and where they fly and how hard it is to actually take them down, how much health they have, the built-in bullet protection system that they actually have. I detailed how helicopter threat works, and I even discussed how the OPFOR and Spetsnaz helicopters have a slightly bigger body than the Marines/SAS helicopters, which makes them slightly easier to shoot down. Well, in that video, some people pointed out a mistake that I made that really blew my mind, because this is something that has gone against everything I've known about Call of Duty for like the past 10 years. Apparently, stopping power and sonic boom do not work when trying to take out enemy helicopters. Now, I've always believed that you receive stopping power's bonus damage and sonic boom's bonus damage when taking out enemy helicopters. Like, this is something that's just been ingrained in my mind forever because I learned about it years and years ago. Like, I don't even remember where I learned it. It's just something that I've always known about Call of Duty 4, that yeah, stopping power helps you take down air support, and yes, of course, sonic boom, which would increase your explosive damage, would also help you take out air support. It just made sense in my mind. And of course, whenever I do my videos, I try to do some reading online to make sure that all my information is correct, and what I read online only confirmed what I thought I already knew. It turns out that the information online here is just wrong. Like, if you go to message boards, if you go to forums, if you go to subreddits, or even the Call of Duty wiki, it says that stopping power and sonic boom will help you take out helicopters, but it turns out all that is actually wrong. It turns out what I knew was wrong. It turns out Reddit is wrong. It turns out Game FAQs is wrong. It turns out the people over on the Call of Duty forums are wrong. Even the COD wiki. All of us are just 110% wrong here. Neither stopping power nor sonic boom work against helicopters in either Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, if you find folks linked me a wonderful video done by another YouTuber named Sour Patch Adults, there's going to be a link to that video down there in the video description. I hope you guys check it out because he goes into great detail about exactly how helicopters work and exactly how the health pool and the armor damage works. There's lots of math, lots of science. I highly recommend checking out that video if you guys haven't already. Once again, link down there in the video description. But for the sake of it, I'm going to do my own testing here in this video to prove that stopping power and sonic boom do not work against helicopters here in Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, we're going to be doing lots of math here, but hopefully you guys will stick around and try to understand it, because if you do, you're going to have a better understanding as to how helicopters actually work here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. So let's start things off here with the RPD. I decided to do testing with two weapons, the RPD and the SAW, and the reason why is both of these LMGs have no damage drop-off. They're going to do the same amount of damage 2 feet away as they would 2,000 feet away. It does not matter, so I'm not going to lose any damage when actually trying to shoot at these helicopters. So by default, the RPD does 40 damage. If you use stopping power, which increases your damage by 40%, this means the RPD is going to be doing 56 damage per bullet at all ranges. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, helicopters in Call of Duty 4/Modern Warfare Remastered have built-in bullet protection. Now, what this bullet protection does is it makes it so bullets being shot at the helicopter only deal 30% of normal damage until the helicopter gets to about half health. This is why it takes a very long time to take down a helicopter if you're the only person actually shooting at it. 30% of the 56 damage a stopping power RPD would be doing is going to be 16.8 damage per bullet until we can get rid of the bullet protection. Now, this is a bit of a point of contention online. Some people say that to get rid of bullet protection, you need to deal 500 damage to the helicopter. Other people say you need to get to half health, which is going to be 550 damage. I don't know which one to believe, honestly. It's very difficult to try and understand these things, so I figured we would just meet in the middle and say that we need to do 525 damage to get rid of bullet protection. Now, keep in mind, whether it's 500, whether it's 550, it doesn't really matter. We're talking about a couple of bullets here. You guys will understand what I mean as we get further on here in the video. So to deal 525 damage at 16.8 damage per bullet, we are going to need about 31 bullets to remove damage protection, leaving the helicopter with about 600 health. Now, I know the accurate number would of course be 575 health remaining, but I'm rounding here since there are conflicting claims as to exactly where the bullet protection is removed. And again, we're talking about a couple of bullets here, so it doesn't really matter. Once we get rid of the damage protection, once that's completely out of the way, the RPD is now dealing its normal 56 damage per shot, which means it's only going to take 11 bullets or so to actually finish off the remaining health of the helicopter. This means in total, we should only need about 42 bullets from a stopping power RPD to take out an enemy helicopter, but as you guys can see in this clip here, I put more than 42 bullets into this helicopter and it still lives. In fact, in this clip in particular, which I don't think I missed a shot, I could have missed a shot here or there, I suppose, I think I put in about 52 shots, whereas I only need 42 theoretically to actually take this thing out, which says to me that stopping power simply does not work when attacking an enemy helicopter. I mean, even if I did miss a few bullets, I could have missed 10 of them in total and still be able to kill the thing, but as you guys can see, the enemy helicopter itself, it's still up in the air. It still lives. I decided to test this out on another light machine gun, the M249 SAW, because like the RPD, it has consistent damage downrange. It does 30 damage up close, it does 30 damage at a distance, it has no damage drop-off whatsoever. So by default, it does 30 damage, right? And so, of course, with the 40% damage increase from stopping power, it's going to deal 42 damage per shot. I hope this isn't too dry for you guys. There's lots of math here, but I need to explain this so you guys understand it. So going off what we established earlier, until we deal 525 damage to the helicopter, we will only be dealing 30% of our normal damage, which means the SAW with stopping power will only be dealing 12.6 damage per shot. In total, we are going to need to put in about 42 shots with the stopping power SAW to bypass the helicopter's bullet protection, and once we're dealing full damage, we're going to need another 14 bullets or so to actually finish it off. This means, in theory, we're only going to need a total of 56 shots from a stopping power SAW to take down an enemy helicopter, but as you guys can see here from this clip, I put about 80 shots into the helicopter and it still lived. Now, after it ran off, I was able to put another shot or two into it, which actually finished it off, which means, give or take, I took about 80 bullets to actually kill the helicopter, even with stopping power. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense and proves that stopping power does not work when attacking enemy helicopters, because if you do the math, which is obviously on your screen, you will see that a non-stopping power SAW will actually kill a helicopter in about 80 bullets, and that's about the same amount of bullets it took me with a stopping power SAW. Now, obviously, there's a margin of error here, and there's also human error, because I'm sure I did not hit every single shot, but it proves pretty much that stopping power does not work when attacking enemy helicopters. This is crazy news to me. Like, some people have suggested that perhaps I was thinking of Stopping Power Pro from Modern Warfare 2 when I said that I thought, Stopping Power helped you take out air support in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare Remastered, but that's really not the case. Like, I was not thinking of Stopping Power Pro at all, because this, let me explain, this is like my line of thinking here. If you equip Stopping Power, your bullets are doing now 40% more damage until they hit something that is going to reduce that damage in one way or another. Previously, I did not think the helicopters would reduce damage, so in theory, I thought, okay, if you're using Stopping Power, you're doing 40% more damage, therefore your bullets are 40% more effective going against helicopters, just like they are 40% more effective at shooting at cars, 40% more effective at shooting at claymores, anything, they're just 40% more effective in general, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently, they're only 40% more effective against people themselves, and perhaps also against things that don't mitigate any of that damage increase. Just to give more context as to my line of thinking here, I also thought that in Modern Warfare 2, you would receive bonus damage from Stopping Power when shooting against air support, and once you get Stopping Power Pro, you would then get even more bonus damage, but obviously that's not how it works, and it's so odd that everything that everyone has posted online regarding Stopping Power against air support just simply isn't true. It just doesn't work at all. It would also appear that Sonic Boom does not give a flat damage increase to explosives like everyone has been led to believe for basically ever. It's been common knowledge in Call of Duty 4 and, of course, therefore Modern Warfare Remastered that Sonic Boom would increase your explosive damage by about 25% and is canceled out by Juggernaut. But it appears that it does not actually increase your damage by 25%. It actually just increases the lethal range of your explosives. So to give you guys some context, if you have a frag grenade land on the ground away from you, you know that if you're a certain distance away, it's going to blow up and it's going to hit you but not kill you, right? If you're using Sonic Boom, the end range of that exploding grenade is going to kill you. Like, it does just as much damage like at the edge of its radius as it does at the center of the blast itself. It just makes it so the entire grenade is more lethal without actually increasing its damage. It goes against that community perception once again that Sonic Boom is going to increase your damage by a flat rate. It just increases the lethal radius of the explosion itself. That being said, obviously Sonic Boom is not going to help you take out a helicopter in one hit because it does not actually deal more damage. A Sonic Boom RPG is going to do the same amount of damage as a non-Sonic Boom RPG when attacking an enemy helicopter. helicopter. It's going to deal 1,000 damage. Sure, the explosion itself up there is going to deal more damage, so in theory, if you had people up there riding the helicopter, maybe you would blow those people up better, but since that's not the case, it's just simply going to hit the helicopter. It's going to deal the same damage whether or not it has sonic boom, and yeah, it's freaking mind-blowing. I'm so happy that people actually linked me this information, that they showed me Sour Patch Adults videos so I could learn all this information, because I don't want to spread false information, obviously, here on my YouTube channel, and I really thought that this stuff was fact, and when I did research online, everyone else seemed to already agree with me, so it's like, alright, well, I guess this is just fact, right? Turns out not. For the best source of information regarding Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare Remastered, I would recommend using the old Dan Curson stuff if you're looking for hard numbers. I do not recommend using forums. I do not recommend the Call of Duty wiki. Like, even though the COD wiki basically just copy and paste stuff from Dan Curson, there is some stuff over there that is just completely false, like sonic boom increasing your damage by 25%, or stopping power actually helping you take out enemy helicopters. Like, there is false information there. If you want good information, I recommend the Dan Curson stuff. You can find a link to it down there in the video description. I'm going to be using that as my source going forward whenever I make these informative videos, as well as I'm going to be doing individual testing in game just to make sure everything is on the up and up in case there's some weird quirks with Modern Warfare Remastered. You never know. It's always best to do testing ahead of time, but I didn't do that in my last video, and it kind of came back to bite me in the ass. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys all found it helpful and informative. Hopefully you guys understand my mistake that I made, why the mistake was actually made, and how we're going to try to avoid making mistakes like that in the future. Now, going back to the Sour Patch Adults video quickly before the end of this one, he mentions, in his opinion, one of the best ways to take out enemy helicopters would be to put double tap on a light machine gun like the RPD or the SAW, because you're going to get 33% faster fire rate, which means 33% faster death for our winged foes out there, and I tested it myself. It's actually true, man. Like, a double tap M249 SAW or a double tap RPD will knock those birds out of the sky in no time, but remember that scoring a direct impact with an RPG will still deal 1,000 damage, which will still drop a helicopter down to 100 health, which is still incredibly easy to kill, assuming, of course, you are lucky enough to have your RPG direct impact the side of the helicopter in the first place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. Thank you to everyone out there who helped point out my mistake in my previous video and did not do so in a douchey way. Thank you to Sour Patch Adults for making such a well put together video regarding the destruction of helicopters. Once again, link down there in the video description, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.